Now, on 19th was the foundation day of two Shivasenas. Two Shivasenas. One is the original Shiv Sena, which is now currently headed by Eknath Shinde, and the other is Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray Shiv Sena, which is headed by Uddhav Thackeray. Now, if you remember, the election commission had given the Shiv Sena, the original Shiv Sena, to Eknath Shinde, and Uddhav had to make do with a new Shiv Sena with a new symbol. Okay. Now, what Bombay witnessed was very interesting. Mumbai witnessed a war of flags. A war of flags. What I mean by that is you travel from one end to another end in Mumbai and you would see flags. One end you have the Shivsena flag, which is if you remember, that's the sign is their bow and arrow. And at one of the other end there was the new Shivsena flag, which is mashal. Mashal is the torch. So a torch here and bow and arrow there. Both more or less the same color and everything. So you could see through and through saffron. Yeah. So that was what it is. Now, I just thought I'll talk about this for 3 minutes with you, is because there's a very interesting concept in advertising called visual identification or visual identity, as it's called. See, visual identity is a very interesting concept. Big brands take it very, very seriously. Very seriously. For instance, Coke is always red. So everything that Coke does is red and white, red and white. That's what Coke is. Pepsi, on the other hand, is blue. So everything Pepsi does is blue and white, blue and white, blue. This is what Pepsi does. So when Pepsi sponsor Indian team, men in blue and all of that. You see, the difference is that somewhere down the line, whenever you see blue, therefore, you think of Pepsi, and whenever you see red, you think of Coke. This is what the basic logic is, isn't it? Simple logic. You see a tick mark, a swoosh, that is Nike. Simple logic. Immediate identification. You don't have to write Nike down, shoes down and all. You don't have to write. You assume, ye Nike hai. That's called visual identity. Now, the reason I wanted to tell you is with all these flags, all these flags, what really has happened is every flag of Shivsena that I saw on the street, most of the people I spoke to, and I believe me, I got out of my car to speak to people because I really wanted to speak to people and see whether this theory is working, and it was working. You see, every flag that I saw, that a person saw of whichever Shivsena, the first thing that went to that person's mind was Balasaheb Thackeray. The first thing, the first immediate association of that flag was with Balasaheb Thackeray. And the next association of that flag was after Balasaheb Thackeray was Uddhav Thackeray. So the point is, whichever flag was hosted, whichever party hosted the flag, Eknath Shinde hosted his own flag, Uddhav Thackeray hosted his own flag, finally it benefited the Shivsena. And Shivsena was seen as Balasaheb Thackeray and then Uddhav Thackeray. So somewhere down the line, I think somebody should advise Eknath Shinde, he should take some advice from some professionals, is that, listen, this is not working for him. The hoardings where he shows Anand Dige as, with Balasaheb Thackeray as a clear differentiator is beautiful. It's a good brand proposition and it works. That works. But using Shivsena in isolation will not work for him. It will work more for Uddhav Thackeray and Balasaheb Thackeray. Because the association is clearly with the Thackeray family. Balasaheb Thackeray clearly, and after Balasaheb Thackeray, directly Uddhav Thackeray. Now, the flip side of it is also there. The flip side of it is a lot of people, when voting for Shivsena, may go and vote for the Dhanusha Ban, as they call it, that is the bow and arrow, thinking that they are voting for Balasaheb Thackeray and Uddhav Thackeray thereof. That also could happen. That flip side also could happen. Now, Mrs. Indira Gandhi had beautifully, without any social media, without any advertising, had done a beautiful, change in her identity when she started Indira Congress I, as she used to call it, and the Haath Ka Panja was actually her sign. She had created the Haath Ka Panja. Earlier on, it was a cow with two calves. That was the picture of Indian National Congress. She changed it to the Haath Ka Panja. And the way she went around without, like I told you, any media support, any advertising support, any social media, Facebook, that book, this book, other book, nothing, no books. She went out there and she changed that identity, and she successfully converted those people to understand that if you want to vote for Indira Gandhi, you have to vote for Haath Ka Panja. So that was a beautiful idea she did. Now that's something that Uddhav Thackeray will have to do, because if it not, so like I told you, when people stood there and said, "Arey, this is Shiv Sena, this is Balasaheb Thackeray Shiv Sena, and his son is Uddhav Thackeray," that advantage went to Uddhav Thackeray. So all the flag money that Eknath Shinde spent, it benefited Uddhav Thackeray, but that may also happen when people go to vote in the election boxes, in the EVM machine. When they press that EVM machine, they would press it for Shiv Sena, thinking that they are pressing it for Uddhav Thackeray. That also could happen. So this is the small point I wanted to make. Till I see you with my next report. Namaskar.